on, Gemini? It's your girl D here with 8th House Energy. Here to bring you your March 2021 Silent Enemies reading. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe, hit the notification bell. Not only do I post for your Gemini placement weekly, I post for all the other placements in your chart, which you definitely should be checking out. All right. This is going to be, it doesn't matter what placement of Gemini this is for. I have a Saturn in Gemini, so this could apply to me as well, but I'll have to check it out and see what the message is. This is a Silent Enemies read. It is one that is designed to help you to pay attention to the intuitive nudges you get, especially when you're around people who you deal with on a regular basis. Some of us may ignore that intuitive energy because we feel too comfortable or too at ease around people that we are closest to. And a lot of times that's the way it's supposed to be, but unfortunately that could be a detriment depending on what those people's intentions are and how they truly feel about you. And that is the purpose why you pay attention to the intuitive nudges that you get from these people closest to you, so that you can gauge how they truly feel about you. Okay, it's a difference between you getting a funny vibe from a family member, a friend, or a coworker or colleague because they're just having a bad time dealing with something, versus you getting a bad intuitive nudge from them because they're jealous and envious of you. So this is why you want to investigate the intuitive nudge to confirm that it is what we call a false alarm, and that way you don't have to be worried, right? Now, people may think that this is a negative read, and, you know, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But some of us are realists. We understand that there's good and bad in the world, that there's evil in the world, and that what we should be doing is protecting ourselves from it the best way that we can. And the best way that you can protect yourself against any negative energy is taking advantage of the God-given gift of your intuition and making sure you pay attention to it. So this is what this reading is here to remind you of that. So we're going to put 3 cards out. We're going to look at the meanings of it. You know, the stereotypical meaning I'll include, but I'll also go intuitively off of the messages I get. And this will be, if you resonate with it, then cool. If you don't try to make this type of reading fit. Check your other placements for this type of reading, okay? Let me see what we got for Gemini. We need 3 cards. All right, there's our 3. 1, 2, 3. So we have the 3 of emotions in reverse. This is the 3 of cups in reverse. That's Cancerian energy. We have the 4 of emotions. That's Cancerian energy as well. And we have the wheel of fortune, or the wheel in this deck, and it came out in reverse. Now, there's a major arcana. Whenever there's a major arcana in the Silent Enemies reading, it means that the intuitive nudge that you get about this, if it resonates with you, is one that you definitely need to pay attention to, because, you know, major arcanas reflect major changes in your life. Okay, so depending on how you respond to this intuitive nudge in reference to the wheel when we go over it, will determine, you know, what kind of effect this will have on your life. Will it be, will your intuitive nudge lead you to making a change for the better? Or, you know, will your intuitive nudge, or you ignoring it, put you in a position where something unfortunate happens, okay? Or something that you could have avoided, but now you have no choice because you have to deal with it. So let's start with this 3 of emotion in reverse. You got a lot of fake friends around you, Gemini. Okay, I'm going to tell you that right off the bat. You got a lot of fake friends around you, people who pretend that they're happy for you and they're not. You got people around you who are plotting on your downfall. Okay, you really need to be careful with the people that you trust, who you confide in, who you say are your friends. This could be family as well. Like, the 3 of Cups in reverse energy, to me, automatically reminds me of fake friends. These are people who gossip about you, who talk bad about you. And it could be family as well. It could be good co-workers as well. Because a silent enemy could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a co-worker, colleague, a boss, it could be your employer, your employee, it could be your tenant, your landlord, anybody that's in your energy on a regular basis. So there's a group of them though. Okay, this is why I say automatically it could be friends or family. Could be co-workers too though. But there's people, at least 3, okay, who talk about you behind your back. And it's showing up as a silent enemy because that's just what they are. They're fake friends, frenemies, okay? You need to be careful of these people. Also, for some of you, you may need to cut back on the drinking and smoking and partying. You might be doing that a little bit too much with the wrong people. Okay, so these people could be a bad influence on you. There's nothing wrong with hanging out and partying and doing what you do. I don't tell people what to do and what they should, what not to do as far as, recreational drug use or what have you. Everything in moderation, as long as you're not hurting yourself and you're not hurting others, whatever. But I feel like in this case, you could be around people who could be a bad influence on you. People who have bad habits, and you're going to pick up on them, or you already have, or you participate with them, and it could be starting to become, now it's not recreational, now it's like a habit. Okay, now you need to get high. All right, that's for some of you. So be careful with all the drinking and smoking that you're doing. Now, some of you, you may not even be doing this with people. This could just be you doing too much drinking and partying and smoking. Okay? Or popping pills or whatever it is you do. You're doing too much. So that could be you being your own worst enemy, or it could be people around you. Okay, this is definitely for people who are Cancer, Gemini cuspers, or if you have Cancer and Gemini in major placements in your chart, like you could be a Cancer Sun, Gemini Moon, you could be a Gemini Sun, Venus in Cancer, something like that, okay? Your ascending sign could be Venus or Cancer. Venus or Gemini. Why I'm saying Venus? It could be Gemini or Cancer, All right. But yeah, either fake friends, fake enemy, frenemies, or you're doing too much partying and drinking. It's getting to the point where it could be habit forming. Is what I'm getting here. Some of you could be depressed because the Three of Cups could talk about celebration, having support. Some of you, you may have people who want to support you, but for whatever reason you don't want that, or you refuse to show anybody else support. You're not there when people need you. They look at you as unreliable. Okay, or you're noticing that people around you are becoming unreliable. You can't depend on them. Could be because they're too busy getting high or drunk or whatever. This could be your employees. All right. Or people that you're in partnership with. You can't count on them. You can't rely on them because they're too busy. They want to party and have fun instead of take care of business. Or they want to, party and drink and drug and whatever while taking care of business, which is a recipe for disaster for show. All right. So with the Four of Cups energy here showing up as a silent enemy. Yeah, I feel like these two could be hand in hand. Because if you're bored as hell, you see how this person is just sitting in the damn cup? Okay? Drinking too much. Drugging too much. It could be because you're bored and unhappy with your life. Sometimes the Four of Cups can even be as severe as someone needing to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist, a psychiatrist, or to talk to someone about your feelings. Okay? Some of you may need a good friend. So you can go from that extreme, a good friend or a family member, or maybe, a religious leader to talk to needing to check in for 3 days, to just, 3 days checking in at the mental institute, because you just need a break from life. So be careful, okay? If this is not you, then this is someone around you who may be trying to get you to drink more, to party more. Be careful, okay? Be careful. But for some of you, this is you. You're depressed, you're drinking a lot, you're trying to cope with the feelings, okay? For others of you, you got people around you who don't appreciate you. They don't value who you are as an individual. They don't value what you bring to the table. You could be dealing with someone who has other people. They're dealing with other people, okay? You could be dealing with someone who has some emotional issues, a family member or a friend of yours or a business partner or colleague. They could be going through something. It could be your child. Your child could be going through something really traumatic right now. Growth pains, depending on how old they are, especially if you have adult children who are in their 20s. You may want to check on them, see how they're doing. They could be having some issues adjusting with life. A lot of us, what we do is when the kids get into their 20s, we let them go on about their business. But that is when they need you the most, because that's when they're trying to find out who they truly are. That's when they're finding out that the world is not so kind. You know what I'm saying? So they really need your support. during that time frame. I know me in my 20s, that's when I needed my family the most, was during my 20s. When I was in the transition phase of going from, a young adult to, someone going into your 20s and through your 30s is a rough time for a lot of people. It's the hard realities of life hitting you, like you're no longer a kid now. So you may want to check with your children, your young adult children, especially if they under 30, between 20 and 30, definitely check with them, see how they're doing. They could be hanging out and partying a lot and doing too much too, okay, and unhappy because of what's going on in their life. An example could be like if you're going through a divorce, and you have children in their 20s, like maybe they're 23, 24, 27, 25, what have you. But they have to deal with the reality of that type of connection between, they have to deal with that reality, and that could be harsh coupled with whatever else they could be dealing with, whatever issues they have going on in their world and whatever they're trying to adjust to. And now it's like, okay, now my parents are splitting up. Some kids will be like, okay, all right, dad and mom, can I still see both of you? Okay, y'all in separate places, damn, that's sad, but all right, y'all happier not around each other anyway. Or it could just be that, the kid is just it's very hard for them to accept that parents are separating and they're having a traumatic time with it on top of whatever else is going on in their world, right? But yeah, so that's either you or someone around you, okay, that you need to watch out for. And it's showing up as a silent enemy because it's somebody you care about. Okay, with the emotions, we're dealing with people you care about. And so it could have a direct effect on you, especially if these people are hurting themselves. That could have a direct effect on you, especially if it's like your child or a family member or a friend, someone you love dearly. You don't want to see them hurt and distraught. All right, so pay attention to your intuition when it comes to the people that you do love. Now we have the wheel here, major arcana. This is something you definitely want to pay attention to because this is going to have a major impact on your life. With the wheel here in reverse, this is Jupiterian energy. So this is somebody who is afraid to take a risk. This is somebody who the energy of you just being in a situation where things are not going in your favor. There's a cycle that you're in that you need to end. Like it's a vicious cycle. I don't know if it's related to these things here where it could be, you are in a vicious cycle with being around gossip and people who talk a lot, who drink a lot, who smoke a lot, and you just get caught up in that vicious cycle and you realize you're not happy with your friendships or your whatever the relationships are. You're not happy with that shit because it's just, you've outgrown it. For some of you. Some of you, these are friends that you've had since you were kids, and now you all are grown, and you're just naturally going your separate ways. But some people are heartbroken about that because it's like, oh, we're supposed to be friends forever. That's not normal. That's not how shit works. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody grows and we all grow at different rates. So you're not always going to see the same group of you together when you were in your 20s, now together in your 50s and 60s. Like, people grow apart. They have different types of lives. They have different ideas. They have different views of things. And those things change as you get older. If it's not changing, there's something wrong. Like, you're the same exact way you were when you were 20 and you're now 50. Like, that don't make no sense. Okay? That don't make no sense. All right, so some people are going to grow with you and some people are going to grow apart from you. So that is normal. So I feel like, you could be in a situation here. If it's not you, it's somebody around you who could be depressed. I get that with the Four of Emotions and the Wheel. And again, this is somebody you care about. So it could be a family member or a close friend or a lover who's going through some serious depression. They could be going through some drug addictions. They could be hanging around the wrong types of people, the wrong crowd of people who are, they could be easily influenced. But somebody has some emotional issues that need to be checked out. Like, somebody needs to go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Somebody needs to sort something out. They need to sort their emotions out. But with this wheel energy here, not listening to your intuition here is going to put you in a cycle that you should have closed out. It's going to put you in a vicious cycle that's going to change your life it's not going to change it for the good. Like, whatever cycle you're in, you got to come out of it. especially if it's like a relationship that's not going anywhere. Some of you could be dealing with someone who's dealing with drug addiction, or who has some emotional issues, who has some mental issues, and they need to talk to someone, and you keep going through the cycles with this person because they need help. If it's not someone you're dealing with, then it's you, okay? Because this is Jupiterian energy, and Gemini, your opposite polarity is Sagittarius, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So this could be, if, as a Gemini, Sagittarius is your dark side, your shadow side, okay? And this rules your shadow side. So for some of you, this is about you in a vicious cycle, okay? That you need to close out. For whatever reason, you can't close it out. You're afraid to close it out. You don't know how to close it out, or you're just stubborn and you can't let go. But there's a lot here for you to think about, for sure, is what I'm getting here. So what I'm going to do, if this resonated as is, feel free to click the like button. If you want to share how it resonates in the comments, that's what they're for. Feel free to do so. I do love to read the comments and check you guys out in there. I'm going to go to the extended, and I'm going to clarify. I'm going to pull like 4 cards for each of these. And then I got like 3 or 4 oracle decks that I'm going to pull, just to get, we need to get some definitive information as to what's going on, so that you have all the information you need so you can make the best decision for you. So if you're resonating with this in any way, shape, or form, feel free to join the extended. The link is in the box below. I'll be over there. I'm going to head over there right now and get this done for you guys. So hopefully you will check it out. If not, I'll see you in the next reading. Peace out, Jimmy.